Come to standing. And hands onto your hips, feet hip distance apart. We're just going to take an on-the-spot walk. So one heel lifts and then the other heel lifts. Try pushing the front of your foot forwards. Although I can see a big looming cloud in front of me. Oh, it's just the shadow of the tree actually. I think the sun's too high now for it to cast on me. One more each leg. And then keep both feet flat on the floor. Lift your right arm. Keep your left hip back as you twist to the right. And come back to centre, hand on hip. And go the other way, so arm in front. Twist round to the left and keep your right hip back. Inhale, centre. Exhale, hand on hip. Inhale, lift. Exhale, turn. Try not to let the pelvis turn. Inhale, centre. Exhale, hand on hip. Inhale, lift. Exhale, turn. Knees face forwards. Inhale, centre. Exhale, hand on hip. Again, each way. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Your chest turning, but your hips facing forwards. Centre. Hand on hip. Inhale, lift. Exhale, turn. Inhale, centre. Exhale, hand on hip. So right side again. But stay in the twist. So you're twisting round toward the right. Lift the right knee, lift the right heel, and feel the right hip pressing forwards in the direction of the knee. You can stay like that, or you can lift the right knee, catch hold of it with your left hand, so you're in a balance, twisting toward the right. Gazing toward the right, but your knees and your hips are still forwards. Hand back to hip, toes down, come back to centre, heel down. Left arm lifts, twist to the left, but keep the right hip back. So lift your left heel, pushing the knee and hip forward so that they don't turn round with you. Keep that, and then if you can, right hand catches hold of left knee. Keeping your balance, squeeze your hip in slightly. Hand back to hip, toes down, and then back to centre. Take your arms into dumb waiter position, so palms upwards, open out to the side, extend out, bend in, point forwards. Push thumbs back, extend out, elbows in, point forwards. 3 more, push out with the thumbs, extend out with your fingers, elbows in, point forwards. 2 more, push as wide as you can, extend out, elbows in, point forwards. 1 more, thumbs press back, extend, elbows in, point forwards. So do that again, out, extend, keep your arms extended, lift them all the way up above, palms face each other. Root down through your legs, keep your legs and your hips steady and lean one direction. As you lean over, try not to let your legs push out. And then come back up to centre and then lean over the other way. So strong in your core as you lean to the side and then pull back to centre. Inhale to the side, exhale to the centre. Inhale to the side, exhale to the centre. 1 more each way. You don't have to go super far. Exhale, centre. Inhale, lock the legs strongly. Exhale, centre. Sit your hips back, arms forwards. Come to standing, hands on hips. Bend forwards from your hips. Keep your legs straight, keep your back straight. Come upright again. Squat, arms forwards. Stand, hands to hips. Bend forward, straight back, straight legs. Come upright. Squat, arms forwards. Stand, hands to hips. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see side profile of this. And back up. Squat, arms forwards. Stand, hands to hips. Tilt forwards from the hips. Back to standing. 1 more round. Squat, arms forwards. Stand, hands to hips. Tilt forwards, come back up. Okay, continue. We're not doing a full round this time. Hands to hips, tilt forwards. When you're parallel to the floor, keeping your back and your legs straight. Put your hands down onto probably a block, unless you're very, very flexible. You're probably going to want a block for your hands to go onto so that your spine can stay straight. And then bend to alternate knees. So you're bending one then the other knee, but keep your weight into the legs. So your hands might be on a block, but you're not leaning your weight forwards into your hands. A little wriggle in your hip joints, a little kind of swag through your hips. Keep your right knee bent and then lift the left arm, turn your chest toward the left and then bring the back of your left hand behind you so it rests on your right hip or into your right hip crease. Look over the left shoulder. Spine is still long but rotated. Look down and bring your left hand onto the block where the right hand is. Up, bend the left leg, open your right arm, twist. Turn your chest up toward the arm and then bring the arm in the air, bring it round behind, rest it on the back of your left hip or put it round into the hip crease. So your fingers trying to almost hook round the thigh. Look over your right shoulder. Look down, bring your hand back down, place the block flatter, don't worry if you haven't got one, and walk back to a plank position. Hands are toward the front edge of the block and the block's underneath your chest. Then touch your knees down to the ground, keep your body weight over your arms and we'll do a set of 5 push-ups. Hug your belly in, bend your elbows and lower down. Touch the block if you can and then push back up again. 4 more, inhale, bend, exhale, push back up. So we're aiming toward the block. Of course, it depends how thick your block is as to how hard they're going to be. 3, 2, keep your body weight over your arms. 1, good, and then push back to child's pose. Arms stretched out in front. Keep your left hand where it is, wide on the mat. Come back up onto your knees and open your right arm for threading the needle. So up onto the knees, right arm opens, lift your chest. Right arm threads through and you're just going to knock that block out of the way when you come through. And do 3 more of those. Inhale, open. Exhale, thread your arm through. 2. 1. Land on your right shoulder and ear. Take your left hand up toward the sky, in my instance, and bring your hand round toward the right hip. So the back of the hand can rest on your hip or, like before, thread your fingers into the hip crease. Roll toward the back of the head a little bit more. Even if your eyes are closed, your nose starts to point up a little bit more. Your gaze might go up a bit more. Release the left hand down to the floor. Press into the left hand, open your right arm wide again, like you're about to do another threading the needle. Keep your arm lifted and step your right foot forwards. So now we're in a twist, in a lunge. Bring your right hand down onto your right leg and come up both hands on your leg. The left hip wants to try rolling forwards a bit, so you could put your left hand on your left hip and push it forward slightly so we square the hips up. Lunge, but also we want to try and draw the torso back. So your legs are in this slight forward lunge and the torso is in a slight backward lunge. See if you can keep that. Release your arms behind, interlace your fingers and make a pistol point to the back heel. Shoulders are rolling back towards your arms as you point back. Another breath. Release your hands down on the inside of your leg so that you can step back onto hands and knees. Right hand goes wide on the mat. Left arm opens for threading the needle. Left arm threads through, almost landing on the floor. 3 more. Inhale, open. Exhale, thread. 2. When you thread your arm through, keep your right palm spread and you're bending your right elbow like it's a window frame and you're looking through the window. When you're there this time, land on your shoulder and ear. Take your right hand up round behind, rest it on the left hip, or feed your hands into the left thigh. If that feels comfortable, start to roll your right shoulder back a bit more. Roll toward the back of your head a tiny amount so the nose lifts a little bit higher. Your gaze looks up a little bit more. Release your right hand down to the floor. Open your left arm all the way out, like you're about to do another. Step your left foot forwards. Bring your left hand onto your left thigh, lunge. Use your right hand on your right hip again to try and turn your right hip to face forwards. And then both hands onto your leg. Lunge into the leg and push back with your torso. Lift up through your chest. If you can then take your hands behind, interlace your less dominant way, point your index fingers. Release your hands onto the inside of the leg so you can step back onto hands and knees. Lower to your forearms and go to Sphinx position. Chest is lifted. Cross your right forearm out in front of you and rest your forehead on the stretch the front of your left thigh by drawing the heel in, pressing the front of your hip down and stretching the knee long. And switch the arms over. And then cross both forearms in front and lift your head and chest off the forearms. So option 1, you just stay here in just a slight upward raise of the chest. This, for many people, will be high enough when we start to add some leg movements in, especially if you're not so flexible in the hip flexors. A little bit steeper, you come onto your forearms so the angle of your chest is a bit higher. Whichever one you're in, hug your belly towards your spine so the pubic bone pushes into the mat a bit more and the spine gets longer and straighter rather than dipping. Stretch your legs out longer as well so that the top of your feet really reach away on the mat and your knees engage. Kick your right heel towards your bottom for 2 kicks. 1, 2, and then stretch the leg long on the floor. Left, 1, 2, stretch the leg long on the floor. Exhale, exhale, inhale, stretch long. Exhale, exhale, inhale, stretch long. Exhale, exhale, inhale, stretch long. Exhale, exhale, inhale. Exhale, exhale. Each time the leg goes back down, you're keeping the leg engaged. You're keeping the belly drawing in so that when the leg kicks, there's no bouncing in the back or belly. Exhale, exhale, inhale. Exhale, exhale, one more each leg. Good toning for the back of the leg. Last time. Extend and then release, push back to child's pose. And make a cross of your forearms again, so your head can rest on your forearms as your back settles into child's pose. Nice deep breath. And we'll just try one more down on our tummy. So let's come back into the plank position again, and we'll lower down through push up to the floor. You don't need the block, so step your legs back to plank, get your body weight over your arms. Knees can touch the floor, but we're only going to go down to the floor and stay there. So if you can manage it with knees off the floor, you can try knees off the floor. Lower down really slowly, shifting your weight very slightly forwards as the elbows start to bend. So your chest is more in line with your fingertips. When you get to the floor, take your arms down by your side, palms upwards, soles of the feet upwards, stretch your legs long. Roll your shoulders round and back, and as they roll back, lift your arms off the ground. Keep your arms lifted. Get the top of your head to stretch further forwards. Float your head and chest off the floor. So your arms might lift a little bit higher. You're looking at where your face was on the ground. Inhale as you lower, touch your nose down. Exhale, roll back the shoulders and lift, chest floating. Inhale, lower, touch the nose down. Exhale, roll back the shoulders and lift. 2 more. Inhale, lower, touch the floor. Exhale, roll back the shoulders, arms lift, chest lifts. 1 more. Inhale, lower. Exhale, roll back and lift. Stay in the lift, legs nice and long, and float the thigh bones so everything's off the ground, apart from the bits you're balancing on. If you can bring both heels towards your bottom and easily catch hold of the feet, take that position, toes pointing back. Push your shins back so your arms get stretched longer. Push the thigh bones up a bit more. Last inhale. Exhale, lower. Toes and hands to the floor, push back up to plank and then into child's pose. This time let's have the arms out in front, palms in a prayer position. Keep your palms in prayer, leaving your elbows on the floor. Drop your hands toward the back of your head. Tricep stretch. And then release your hands and then make your way round to sitting. Straighten both legs out in front. Step your right foot to the outside of your left knee, lift tall and then twist round to the right. Come back to centre, step your foot to the inside of the left knee. Keep hold of your right shin or the back of the thigh. So if you're a bit tighter in your hamstrings, hold the back of the thigh and lean back slightly. If you're less tight in your hamstrings, hold the shin and sit tall and straight. Lift the left leg off the ground. 5, 4, 3, 2. Try not to let it pull in your back, but use your core. 1. And then straighten your right leg. Left foot steps in, step it to the outside of your right knee. Twist to the left. Gaze behind. And then back to centre, step your left foot to the inside of the right knee, hold the back of the thigh or your shin, make your spine straight, engage your belly and lift the right leg. 5. The knee is very straight, your thigh muscle engaged. 3, 2, 1. And then straighten both legs, give them a little shake out. Bend both legs, both feet flat to the floor, hands behind, open up your chest and then lift into reverse tabletop. Lengthening your tailbone under toward the back of the knees. Shift your bottom towards your heels and then roll your spine down onto your back. Head landing on a cushion or a thin block. I've just got a little pad underneath my mat here for my head to be on, so I have got something there. And it's nice when we're doing core work with our head on the floor, it's nice just to have the head very slightly elevated. Arms down by your side, relax your arms, find neutral pelvis. In our neutral pelvis, for the first set certainly, we're going to try to do it without imprint. So if you go into neutral imprint, where your back is pressing an imprint into your mat, keep that strength in your abdominal muscles, but then soften the imprint off the ground so now there's a tiny air gap under your back. And then from that position, firm it, like you've got strands of elasticity connecting the rib cage and pelvis from front, sides and back. Lift your right leg into a single knee fold, keep all those straps on and bring the left leg up, double knee fold. We haven't had to force our back down into imprint. We can keep that softness in the lower back without the pelvis tilting away. Let's try single leg taps here. Tap right foot down and lift. Tap left foot down and lift. Inhale right, exhale left. Inhale left, exhale left. Another like that. So this is slow scissor legs. Now let's go to fast scissor legs. So one taps down, and as that comes up, switch the other one down. So they cross mid-air. 4 more. 4, 4. Pelvis isn't moving. 3, 3. That little space under the back remains exactly as it is, and you're feeling the deep layers of your core working. 1, 1. Both legs back into the double knee fold. Keep them there. Heels touch together, knees open as you inhale. Knees squeeze together as you exhale. Knees open, keep the heels touching. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, open. When you squeeze your knees together, get this extra feeling of the lower belly muscles drawing in. Like the pull cords to pull your knees in is coming from the lower belly. 2, 1. One foot down, the other foot down. Take your hands in a prayer position, point straight up to your ceiling. Legs are together without your arms moving, so keep your gaze on your fingertips. Make sure they don't move. Open your right knee out to the side. Keep the pelvis level. Try not to let your pelvis tip. Close your right knee in. Inhale, open left knee. Exhale, close left knee. Inhale, open right without the left knee falling wide. Exhale, close. Inhale, open left without the right knee falling wide. Exhale, close. Good. Keep your pelvis nice and flat on the floor. Keep your core muscles switched on and sense behind your back there's no change in the shape of your back. If you go too wide, you'll feel the opposite shoulder lift. Try and feel like your tummy muscles are pulling toward the back of the hip of the leg that's staying still, like it's trying to anchor that hip down. 1 more on each side. Inhale, open, pivoting on the outer foot. Exhale, close. Inhale, open, pivot outer foot. Exhale, close. Interlace your hands behind your head, elbows in line with tip of your nose. So think of those elastic straps again from your rib cage to your pelvis. Abdominal curl as if you're pulling your pelvis closer toward the rib cage, but not having to press the lower back down to the floor. Keep that feeling and look at your tummy. We want to feel like the tummy's got a heavy weight resting on it, so it's planting it down. Lift your right leg, and without pushing that weight off your tummy, float the left leg. Slow leg positions. Tap down, inhale, exhale, lift. Tap down, inhale, exhale, lift. Can you do that feeling that the pelvis doesn't tip away at all? Keep the curl up of the chest without the need to push the lower back down. Let's double time it this time. So 1 goes up, 1 goes down. Switch midway. 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1. Heels together, knees open, then push your legs straight as you straighten the knees together. Inhale, exhale, push the legs straight. Inhale, knees wide, exhale, legs straight. Inhale, knees wide, exhale, push straight. Inhale, 3. When you push the legs away, think of that heavy weight on your tummy, drawing you back and in through the lower belly muscles. 1 more time. Inhale, bend the knees, close your knees narrow, take your head and your arms down to the floor. You can do this with your feet on the floor if you need to. Do a pelvic tilt so your tailbone lifts and lowers. Tailbone lifts and lowers. So the knees almost like roll towards your chest slightly. If you need feet on the floor, you get a pelvic tilt with your feet on the floor. So if you're doing it with feet on the floor, if you struggle with that tilt, go into shoulder bridges. Otherwise, on your next tilt, roll your legs over behind, push your arms long along the floor and try and stretch your legs out behind you. Bend the knees again and roll carefully back down to the floor, pressing through your arms, making sure your head doesn't jump off the mat. Start with the bent legs again, roll your legs over behind. Then try reaching your legs out behind as straight as you can. Bend them again and roll your way back down. Keep your arms long on the floor. Anyone who can do that with straight legs, start with your straight legs and roll over. Inhale, legs are out behind. Exhale, roll your way back down again. Inhale, start position. 2 more. Exhale, roll over behind. Arms pressing long down the opposite end of the mat. Inhale, exhale, roll back down. Inhale, start position. 1 last time. Exhale, roll. Arms reach long to the bottom end of the mat. Exhale, roll down. Once you're down, bring your knees a little squeeze into the chest. Feet to the floor, arms wide. A little knee sway side to side. Turn your ear to the floor. So knees one way, opposite ear turns to the floor. Swaying side to side, but the sway is really slow, like a lazy sway. And almost feel as though you're stopping when you get to that furthest point of twist. It's almost like, oh, am I going to stop? Am I not going to stop? Oh no, I'm going to go back over again. So there's a decent pause when you get to the furthest point of each side. Maybe those pauses get a little bit longer each time. Let's just really enjoy this movement, so we'll be generous with the time in this. When you're next back up to centre, stay there. A little figure 4 cross, one ankle onto the opposite knee, and bring that leg off the floor. Feel a nice buttock stretch. Release that down and just straight to the other side. Release that down. Both feet to the floor. Tilt your pelvis back and forwards a few times. Do it to try and lengthen your lower back out. Once you kind of scooched your bottom as far as you can stretch it down, then release your legs out straight. I'm going to bring my arms down a little so they're about as wide as the feet. Relax your whole body. Close your eyes. Be restful. Be restful in your movement. Just the movement of your breath. Be restful in your thoughts, so that if a thought comes in one door, the exit door is open for it to leave. In other words, try not to get trapped with the thought. Let them move on. Restful in the space you're in, breathing in that restful energy and exhaling tension. Breathing in the calm, the peace. Breathing out that which disturbs the calm and the peace. Wriggle your fingers and toes. Legs together, arms overhead, full body stretch. Let your waist lift and lengthen. Bending your legs, roll to your side and come up. Little neck stretch to finish. Sit with your legs in front or crossed. Take one arm out to the side and let your head fall away from the arm. Nudge your chin slightly down. Come back to centre, other arm out, let your head fall away from the arm. Nodding the chin slightly down. And coming back up to centre, roll your shoulders, backward circle. And give your arms a little shake out. Well done everyone. Thank you. Sorry about all the squinting. Got the sun right in my eyes. Have a lovely evening. Thanks for joining. See you next class.